Good to have you here, sir.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Well, thank you for having me.
Well, my pleasure. So, anything new with you?
Nah, just been sitting around twiddling the old thumbs last few days.
Yeah.
Nothing big. How about you?
I'm thinking about getting a new car.
I heard. $83, huh?
It's got a guy that's going to hook me up, though.
What's it like being a host and having some guy,
Funnier than me?
Yeah. I don't see you speechless often, but I left you speechless.
I got used to it years ago.
Oh, okay.
So it's very simple.
Okay.
Wow. And I want you to know, do you have anything you'd like to share with the people that haven't heard? If maybe they've been under a rock for the last couple of days?
Well, if they've been under a rock, doesn't matter, No, I've been so grateful to be mayor of Mesa for almost 6 years. It's been one of the greatest privileges of my life. There's an opportunity, I believe, to take what we as a community, and I've been so honored to lead this effort, but it certainly has been a community effort to take our successes and to take them hopefully to the statewide, so all can benefit from those successes. And I announced yesterday I'm running for governor. So,
That's great.
and I didn't even bring any Kleenex boxes to share with you today.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I was going to say, now a lot of people don't know this, but you waited until you knew you were coming on this show.
I did.
Because that seat has been a launching pad for a lot of, a few months ago we had Doug Ducey, another candidate. Then last month we had Ken Bennett.
And thank heavens you saved the best for last.
And well, next month.
Oh.
Steven Seagal will be here.
Oh. As I said.
And, you can laugh all you want, but he's hard to kill. And he's above the law, and it frightens me.
All of those, yeah.
It frightens me that I know those two movie titles.
Yes. But I'm excited.
Sure.
This is going to be a great thing. Arizona really, and you hear this, and it's almost trite to say that Arizona is at a pivotal point, but we really are. We have just gone through the worst financial crisis since the Great Depression, and in many ways it was even worse than the Great Depression. We're still not out of it. And the fact of the matter is that in the next 3 to 5 years, this state is going to make decisions and take actions that are going to define us literally for the next generation. When I came into Mesa, we were also in somewhat of a crisis. We had a big $62 million budget shortfall. And to see how this city rallied, how we were able to handle that without increasing taxes, how we were able to create opportunities, as we dealt with the recession, as we shored up city finances and restructured and reformed, but we also saved enough to where we made progress. We brought 5 universities and colleges into downtown, into Mesa. We brought Crescent Crown. This is a beautiful building. This is one of the successes we had. And of course, we brought some little fruit company too, just recently. And the great thing, Apple Computer. That was a joke, by the way. So they laugh at yours. We're the only two.
It's a tough crowd.
You're not the only one whose jokes don't get laughed at.
At 7:30 in the morning, that joke's hilarious. 8 o'clock at night.
Thank you. At 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah. Well, that's great. What would Arizona under Governor Scott Smith? What visible differences will we see?
Well, the one thing is that the discussion hopefully will change. The one thing I want to do is to change the discussion. We're going to talk about our children in a positive way. We're going to talk about our future in a positive way. We do a great job in this state of really focusing on what we perceive we don't lack, on our failures, and we almost talk ourselves into average. There's so much great going on in this state. We just need a focus, we need a vision, and we need to change that conversation. And once again, we've seen how that works. That's what we tried when we came into this city. We changed the conversation. We started focusing on a vision. We implemented HEAT, which gave us focus in economic development. And it was gratifying to see a community come together when they were of one mind as to where they wanted to go. Then the discussions of how you get there became much easier. They were in context. The discussions were meant to say, how are we going to achieve excellence as opposed to why do we fall short? Also, one thing you're going to hear is, on a national scale, is I hope that I'm going to continue what I started with the U.S. Conference of Mayors, which is to be the best advocate for this state that I possibly can. I've had the great opportunity the last year or so as president of the Conference of Mayors to travel around the country and to be the face of Arizona. I know that's a scary thought to some of you. But it's been wonderful that people have a perception of Arizona. They want to think well of Arizona, and to be able to give them a positive view of the great things in this state. As a mayor and a president of the U.S. Conference of Mayors is one thing. Doing it as governors, I'm really excited about the opportunity to do that.
You know, you hear this term a lot. Do you think you can? I heard you described as the wild card. And I like, I know.
Yeah.
In the race.
Oh, in the race, okay.
Yeah. And I think that the point that was being made is that you're viewed moderate enough that you can reach across the aisle. Do you think that's a strong suit of yours?
You know, I sort of find political labels as amusing. Right. You know, reaching across the aisle and that isn't a philosophy, it's just a way of dealing with people. Right. You know, I try to govern as we live life. Life is about take common sense. None of us, hopefully, go out and bust our budget and don't accomplish our goals. And government should be frugal, it should be efficient, it should be effective, and it should point us toward a better place. I hope that I've left Mesa in a better place than when I came in. You know, the old Boy Scout still comes out of me. I want to leave that campground cleaner than what I found it. And I think if you talk to most people in Mesa, they feel better about their community because there's been real accomplishments, and they feel like we're headed in the right direction. So, you know, labels, I don't look at those. We have a track record here. People can look at the track record and they can define it however they want. I think when you look at how we handle the budget, how we change things, whether you call that conservative or whatever, I think it's common sense, it's life, and it's been successful.
Well, I think you're a reasonable, rational guy. You'd never like close down some lanes or anything, would you, like that?
I actually went to all the bridges in Mesa to see if any were blocked, and thank heavens none. And you know what else? But I'll tell you the best promise. We've gone through this deep freeze. I want to tell you one thing. When I came into office, one of the first promises I made as mayor is I said, the streets of Mesa will never be clogged with snow, and I have kept that promise.
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you. Thank you.
That is huge. You know what that other guy we're alluding to, what he should have said is if you like your bridge, you can keep your bridge.
You can, at least the 2 lanes on it.
Exactly. Well, that's great. And you know what? I think if you know anything about me, Mayor Smith, it's, you know, I'm a problem solver. Have you surrounded yourself with some astute political advisors?
Well, we'll find out how astute they are when I win, you know.
Because yeah. we may have made a connection here through Big Al. Big
Al, he's very astute.
No, wait, he might know this guy that could be do you know Dennis Rodman? Is there any way he could help?
I was doing an interview yesterday, and the lead-in story to my interview was Dennis Rodman. And I'm going, I don't know how you follow that. Yeah. It's interesting.
Well, you follow his sanity is how you follow that.
One thing I want to make sure we get into, because I know you have to move on, is one of the exciting things that's happened in Mesa over the last 5 years is, of course, the Cubs staying here.
Sure.
They were literally leaving, and it took a community effort to come together. The citizens of Mesa overwhelmingly supported the efforts to keep the Cubs here through their votes, and thank you so much, which they have done consistently. This is all coming to fruition. We're now here. You go down to Riverview, you can see the stadium, and even more remarkably than the stadium is the park. January 25th, just a few weeks from now, is the grand opening, is the place. And the community can come and experience the park, take tours of the Riverview Park and its brand new lake and great equipment and everything. I think you'll be amazed. Also, the stadium, tours, and it's a time for the citizens of Mesa and all in the East Valley to come and see the great thing that they've supported and to see why it was worth the effort to keep the Chicago Cubs in Mesa.
That's great. Yeah, and what a beautiful park. Just when you drive by, it's amazing. They did that quick.
Yeah, it seems like it built quick, but like I said, it was 5 years ago, almost to the day, when the Chicago Cubs walked into my office and said, Mayor, we're going to exercise our early out and we're moving to Florida. Now, I'd been mayor 6 months, And in that 6 months, I had been told by our city manager we have a $62 million shortfall. The Maricopa County Sheriff's Office had raided our city hall, and the Cubs came in and said, we're leaving to go to Florida. I'm sitting thinking, what in the did I get myself into? But you know, we've solved the budget. I have a great relationship with the sheriff now. We worked together, and the Cubs are here. And it's been an incredible experience to overcome those kind of obstacles and to see the community pull together to create something that's really spectacular.
Well, that's awesome. And I'll tell you what, Mesa is better because of the 6 years you've invested. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Real quick, I'm sure let's take a question from the audience. We got to prove every now and then to our viewing audience at home that this is a live audience.
There are people there. They are live.
Yeah, they are live. Most of them are live. Yes, sir.
The old stadium, the Holcomb? Well, that's the other exciting thing is that we said that when the Cubs were going to move to the new stadium that we would work diligently to have a great use for Holcomb. And the Oakland Athletics will be moving into Holcomb starting next spring training. Work is ready to proceed very, very quickly. We have the architects all doing the plans and everything, and you'll see some real construction activity at Holcomb. And then in 2015, Mesa will be home to two major league teams, Oakland and Chicago, the Cubs. But the interesting thing is, and I didn't, Lou Wolf, the owner of the A's, didn't realize this. When I was in high school, the Cubs were training in Scottsdale for a short period, and the Oakland A's were here in Mesa. So in the time of when they won three World Series in a row, and you had Reggie Jackson and Sal Bando and all the ASU guys, and the A's were actually in Mesa. So I told Lou, you know, you're just coming home. We now have the two teams that historically have trained in Mesa will be back starting in 2015. We'll have both teams, and Holcomb will be rocking again with the green and yellow.
That's great. We're going to make time for one more question.
Is there anything that you have or would have liked to have started for Mesa that just hasn't finished up as of yet?
Oh, there's always things that you want to accomplish. It's a never-ending list. I'm excited about what's started in the Fiesta District. We're now working on changing the landscape along Southern Avenue. Certainly, the economy brought many of the big projects. Gaylord, what's happening in some of the properties down in the Fiesta District. It's delayed those, and that's been disappointing. But that was more something that we just had to live through. You know, there wasn't a whole lot of investment for the last 5 years by the private sector in certain areas. We're starting to change that. I can tell you that when things like Apple happen, the inquiries we've had from companies both inside Arizona and outside of Arizona, the way they view Mesa and their willingness to invest has just gone crazy. I'm confident that things that were regrets, not regrets, but we look back and they're disappointments. Gaylord, for example. I have confidence that if it's not Gaylord, it'll be something else. I know that the Fiesta District will rebound, and you'll see some real investment in there. We have great community college, an incredible hospital, 2 hospitals there. We have a lot of investment, a beautiful new police station in that area. There's been investment, there's ongoing things, there's a lot happening. That's been, I guess, one of my disappointments, but it'll happen. Sometimes, like I said, the Cubs thing was a 5-year deal. Actually, Apple was almost 5 years in the making. And so things take time. And I'm confident that 5, 10 years from now, we'll look at Mesa and you'll see some incredible things after light rail comes in, after investments made. It's going to be pretty awesome.
Well, we thank you for stopping by. I know you're busy. And look at it this way. You've sat through this. Every other media thing's going to be easy after this.
It's all downhill from here.
Exactly. How about a big round of applause?
Thank you.
For Mayor Scott Smith.
Thank you.